Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Unfortunately, Ruby will not be part of this video today, but we still have more videos coming up with us together. We decided that she's not gonna be part of this video because this is not our story, this is my story. And to begin all this, I will be saying that I'm not here to bash my ex-husband. Not at all. I'm here to help my men who've been cheated on, and share my story on how I recovered through all the BS I went through in my marriage and the infidelities. This will be a 3-part series. The first part will obviously be story time, which I'm gonna be sharing with you what went down, all the tea, all the wine. By the way, this is Lambrusco. This is my favorite red wine. Very sweet, very delicious. Gets you there. Bottle will get you there. And very non-expensive. Anyways, second part will be the steps we took to recover. Obviously the shattered glass. And the third part will be what our final decision was, which is obviously was separation, divorce. And the third part will be explaining how we are today, how we live in. But yeah, like I said, I'm not here to bash my ex-husband. Not gonna do that. I already had my era when I did that. I will not be exposing his name. I'm just not gonna do that. I don't need anybody to go attack him. I don't need anybody to talk trash to him. I already did all that 2 years back. Don't need a repeat. We are both happy with our lives right now. We are both happy where we're at. He's happy in a relationship. I'm happy single, living my life. You know, my best life. So yeah. Let me get started. Let me take one more sip. Okay. So, my ex-husband, and we're gonna call him Andrew, because that's Dominic's middle name, and that's obviously his middle name too. Andrew was my high school sweetheart. I met him through the army. I was not in the army yet. He was enlisted already. And I thought he was the most beautiful man I've ever laid eyes on. I thought hands down he was so freaking fine, and I have him no matter what. And at the time I was about to turn 17 at the time. He was 20, about to be 21. But, you know, I didn't care. I was just like, I need to have this man in my life. He is perfect. He is my dream guy. So I pursued. It wasn't that hard for me to get him. Obviously, we talked for a couple months, then it turned into a relationship, then it became official, you know, and we got married, and we were in a relationship for a little bit over 2 years, I would like to say, before we got married. I got married when I had just turned 18. I shit you not, I had just turned 18 when I got married to this guy. And I do not regret my marriage. I do not regret anything at all with this man. This man, once upon a time, made me happy. The happiest. You know, I would have never gotten married with him if I wasn't happy with him. But life happens, shit happens, and some things are not meant to be. So, with that being said, we got married in December 19th, 2014. And I was very, very, very much in love, very happy. I would like to assume, well, he said he was very much in love with me. And, you know, it's crazy how much I love this man. This man did not give me the most beautiful ring in the world. And I took it. I took it like I didn't care. And, after we got married in the courthouse, we went to McDonald's, and I was dressed up in white, nice ass dress, expensive ass dress actually, expensive ass shoes, I had to go all out, and he was in his dress blues, blue cord, he was infantry in a recon unit. And we went to McDonald's, and let me tell you, I could have not had any better. And shortly after we got married, I got pregnant. And I tell you, we did not take long to get pregnant. We had the idea of getting married, getting pregnant, starting a family, being together, and that was going to be our happily ever after. But as you all know, it took a turn. And that turn happened unfortunately, when I was pregnant. And at the time, I was in the reserves. Wanting to switch over to active duty, but I couldn't because I was pregnant at the time. So all I did was transfer to Alaska. And it took a while. It took a while for me to get that transfer over to Alaska. And obviously I wanted to be with my husband, so I'm just like, I need to leave Chicago from the reserves and join the reserves in Alaska, which I did. And I got there in March of 15. And took a flight. And as soon as I landed in Alaska for Wainwright, and I saw him, I just had a very, very, very bad feeling. Very bad intuition. I couldn't explain it. And I couldn't explain it for the simple fact that everything was going perfectly fine. Like, there was not one thing that was wrong in my marriage at the time. Everything was fresh. Everything was just as we left it when I was in a relationship with him. Everything was perfect. I couldn't ask for a better man. This man literally, when I got there, picked me up. We went to his barracks room because he didn't have money for a hotel room, so he slipped me into his barracks room. And we slept the night until he got paid the next day for us to go to a hotel. And I still had this bad intuition. I couldn't explain what it was. Never was I the type of girlfriend or wife to check through his phone, or I trusted my husband 100%. If you had asked me then, do you think your husband would cheat on you? I'll be like, fuck no. Like, my husband will not cheat on me. He is completely 100% about me. He's devoted to me. He loves me to death. And, I would tell you, fuck no. Like, my husband will not cheat on me. Would never cheat on me. So, yeah. I couldn't explain why I did what I did, and I couldn't explain why I felt the way I felt. So I let a couple weeks by, and we were perfectly fine. I tell you, we were going out every day. We're chilling. He's spoiling me, loving me, adoring me, like he always does. And one day we were asleep and I woke up and I was just like, my stomach just was just like not having it. And it was not having it because I was having a very bad intuition. And so he's asleep right next to me. And I wake up, and obviously both our phones are without a lock because we keep it without a lock. But we never have gone through each other's phones because we felt like that's our private thing. But if we ever do feel the need to do so, we're allowed to. So I grabbed his phone while he was sleeping. And one of the few messages that came up was a recipient called Kay. And I'm not gonna say her name because, like I said, I don't need people to go after her either. Because I've already went after her. I took care of that. But that's for another story. I'm gonna go tell more stories. There's so many stories to this. It's ridiculous. People that know me know I take care of mine. And I'm about mine. So anyways, Kay. And I'm going to say Kay because that's exactly how he had her in his phone. Kay. I didn't know her name at the time. So I clicked on the message. I clicked on her message. And they're just talking. They're just talking like friends. And February of 2015, he went to NCC in California. I was still in Chicago. Came back the beginning of March. I came mid-March, towards the end of March, I believe so. And, they were very, very disturbing messages, talking about how good pussy was, how good sex was, can't wait for it to happen again. When I tell you guys, that was the first time my heart had ever dropped. It was the first time my heart has ever dropped. And it dropped because I was head over heels, madly in love, would fucking get ran over by a train for this dude. I would do anything, had him on a pedestal. He could tell you himself that I loved him with everything. And I could have the sexiest man in the world in front of me and I would not even look at him because I was so madly in love with my husband. And nothing and nobody came above my husband. I was about mine. I was faithful to mine. So when I tell you my heart dropped, it dropped. I've never really thought about the phrase heartbroken, like it actually feels like your heart breaks, until that day. And 3 thoughts came through my head. 1 was beat the shit out of him. That was 1. 2, pack my shit and leave. Or 3, go to his chain of command. Because I said, and I told him, don't you ever be unfaithful. Do not get married to me if you're going to be unfaithful. And I repeatedly had asked him, are you sure about getting married to me? And he was just like, yeah, babe, I'm so in love with you. I want to be with you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I can't picture my life without you. You are the love of my life. You are perfect. You're everything I've wanted. Everything that I need. And I was just like, all right then, my dude, we done. This is it. We gonna get married. And like I said, saw those messages, my heart dropped. I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't even want to scroll up even more to the messages. I just let it be. And I just stood there in the closet, in our master closet, just reading the messages. And I was just like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm thinking 3 things of what to do. So I screenshot the messages and I sent them to myself. And, I'm just like, fuck. Like, what do I do? And I'm just like so heartbroken. I want to cry, but I'm so angry too. And not only am I angry, but I'm disappointed because I thought my marriage was perfect, and it ended up being not what I thought it was. So, what I did was I screamed at the top of my fucking lungs, and I was just like, Andrew. I was obviously I'm gonna say Andrew, but I said somebody. I said his real name, and he woke up and he's like, "What happened, babe? Are you okay? Are you okay?" Because obviously I'm pregnant. So I'm just like, "You cheated on me?" And he's just like, "What?" He's like, "No, babe. Why?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is Kate?" And he's just like, "Fuck." And he says her fucking name. And I'm just like, that was when I said he really did it. So I ran into the bathroom, locked myself in with his phone, and he was like banging on the door. He's like, "Babe, please, Sharon, let me explain to you. I never fucked her. I never did anything." And I was just crying. I was just like, "Leave me the fuck alone. Get the fuck out of my house. I don't want you near me. Fuck you. I want a fucking divorce." I threw the divorce card right there and then. I honestly did not give a fuck. And he was like, "Babe, please let me explain to you. Let me explain." And I'm just like, nah. I'm just like, not listening to it. You a cheater. So, obviously I'm going through so much. I'm pregnant. So I'm going through all these emotions. I want him to be there, but I don't want him to be near me, and I don't want him to leave, but I do want him to leave, and it's just like I don't know what to do at this rate. So he's trying to explain to me, and I'm just crying, and I'm just like not hearing it. I don't care. Like, I do not care at the moment what he has to say. So being who the fuck I am, I was just like, this dude really played me or tried to play me. He played me. Let's be real. He played me. He doesn't know who the fuck I am. He obviously don't know who the fuck I am. So I pump myself up pregnant. I'm just like, this motherfucker really don't know who the fuck I am. So, being me, I opened the door. Before I opened the door, I wiped my tears off, and I made sure he did not see me crying. And I said, "Back the fuck off." And he's just like, "Are you gonna let me talk?" I'm like, "No." So I go downstairs and I grab permanent markers and I grab a hammer and I start fucking all his shit up. And I don't care at this point. I'm fucking up shoes, clothes. And he's just like, his face was just like, this bitch is crazy. And I told him, touch me, try to stop me, and I'm calling you chain of command. And this is gonna be over. This is finito. Like, it's no fixing it after I call you chain of command. So he was just like, he let me do me. I fucked all types of shit up. All types of shit up. One thing, I bought him a limited edition controller for his Xbox One, and Xbox One just really got released. So, he was hyped about that. And he was hyped about the remote I had bought him when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, limited edition. And literally grabbed the hammer and smashed that shit. Not give a fuck about his feelings. His heart broke. Like, it was just like, that shit affected him the most. And then I was going for the car. That's when he grabbed me and he was just like, "Okay, you fucked too much shit up. You're not fucking up the car." So, yeah. I obviously grabbed her number. I harassed her. I'm not gonna stop. I was not cute because she knew we were married. She knew we were expecting a kid. It was, she was friends with him for a while, and at the time, I was just like, this bitch caused all this. But in reality, she didn't owe me any loyalty. Hoes don't owe you loyalty. It's your man. It's It's whoever you're with that owes you loyalty, nobody else. If he didn't give her the opportunity to open the door, she would have not gone through it. She would have not gone in. And so, harassed her, went to a job. I so fucking extra. And I'll tell you guys more in depth in other story times what I did. How crazy I am. Whew, you guys. Hormones. And then plus me, how I am. Please, Lord. But yeah, he let me destroy things. He was sleeping in the sofa. He didn't want to leave the house. And he literally gave me my space. He gave me everything I needed for me not to leave. And he was just like, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I didn't sleep with her. Even though the text messages clearly say that he did. But Andrew is the type to deny. Even though you got screenshots, he don't give a fuck. He's gonna deny. Till the day he dies, and at least I give him props for that. I'm like, bro, you dead ass can take that shit to the grave. But yeah, he gave me all the space in the world. Obviously, I did not forgive him, but I did try to move on. But it took so much from me to move on. So much in me to move on. And to at least not forgive, but to kind of forget. Or at least put it behind me. And months and months, I tell you, I could not even sleep with the man without thinking of him fucking another bitch. Because I literally think about, and then not only that, but as soon as I found out who the fuck it was, I was even more mad, because I'm just like, my dude, you had me, and you went to a bitch that worked at fucking KFC that looked like a fucking whale. I was just like, and a conversation that we had when we were in a relationship, I told him, if you ever cheat on me, make sure she bad as fuck. Make sure that I'm like, damn, I really know why he cheated. But he couldn't even do that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. He gave me my space. We tried making it work. We went to marriage counseling, and marriage counseling and our steps to recovery and what worked and what didn't work will be on the second video. The third video would be our final decision of what we wanted to do because of prior incidents, and obviously we were separated more than once for a long time period. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. It's not very much but I just want to give you guys an insight that my life has never been perfect. It's I'm far from perfect. I own up to my shit all the time, and I'm not ashamed of my past, and I'm not ashamed of who I married, and I'm not ashamed of what I've done, and I'm never ever gonna say I was an angel, because I wasn't in the step of recovery. I was not an angel. If anything, I was very, very hard to work with, because I'm the type, once you fuck up with me, you fuck up with me, and there's no recovering from fucking up with me. But that's how I am, and but as I grew, now being close to 23, and was married for about 4 years, with him for 6. I learned so much. Counseling gave me so much. God has gave me so much strength to move on from the situation. And right now, I'm more than happy with myself, happy with my life, happy that I had a kid, because I look at Dominic and I'm just like, that kid is beautiful. That's the kid of my dream. I couldn't ask for a better kid in my life. And without Andrew, I would have never had that. I would have never had Dominic. So obviously I'm I'm blessed, and you know, there's always a good thing that comes out of a negative thing. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, go down in the comments section, write down your questions. Y'all could definitely email me. My email's in my IG. I will put up my IG. You guys could definitely email me questions. I will gladly answer any questions you guys have. Please like, subscribe, share to a person that might like this story, that could relate to the story. Let me know what other story times. I have so many story times that I cannot wait to share with you guys, because you know, I was a crazy bitch pregnant, and let me tell you, this just started. This little series has just started. But thank you for obviously clicking on this video and spending time with me and my lambrusco and my snacks. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao. Love you guys.